Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Friday night. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It's me, your host. Hello, Maria. How are we? It's me, your host, Reece. Back at it. We're gonna certainly have a fun show tonight. Double the review, double the trouble, double the chaos, and I've even done my hair for y'all. Happy Friday to you, Maria. We've got a lot to talk about. Some crazy news, of course, across the wrestling landscape before we even get into our festivities. Um, we've got a crazy bombshell from one company, and then one of the companies we're reviewing tonight has another bombshell. So, Collision was fun. I agree. Collision was really good. Impact was actually very well too. I actually enjoyed both shows. Um, we're actually in for a mad show, ladies and gentlemen, because truth be told, there's nothing really to talk negatively about, except Dana Brooke. But apart from that, we actually have an interesting show to review. Now, I do have some reservations, of course. That's not just normal. I mean, I always come in with a reservation. But we're already here for the fun, and Maria's already giving me the goosebumps because we are here to do this. WrestleMania is already a fucking flop. High fives, hands up in the air for WrestleMania being a flop. Put the clap emojis with the laughing emojis, guys. Give me all the emojis. Share the video. Like, share, and subscribe to the Weekly Steelchair. And let's begin. Now, Stussy, yes, that was made clear. It is a non-title, but it's fucking pointless. First of all, you've basically made R-Truth wasteless. That's not a word. Wasteful. Pointless, wasteful. I also bought one of these. I had a 2-in-1, as you guys know. A 2-in-1 HDMI extender. So I went out and bought a 4-in-1 because it's so much easier. A little bit expensive. I've got a new laptop stand coming from my work laptop tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to trying that out because it's got USB cables in it. But let's really divulge the problem. That's a good point as well. They don't want to risk it. Hello, James. Good to see you, my buddy. I hope you're so well. I honestly think, and I actually think Stussy's right. Years ago, R-Truth won the US title by accident. The difference is, I don't think they would allow that on the WWE title. I think Cena is a aging bald dumbass, but I don't think he's stupid enough to let that happen. But what I will say though is, you're not defending the WWE title at Money in the Bank. You're not defending the WWE title at Saturday Night's Main Event. What's the point in bringing back the Saturday Night's Main Event if you're not going to have the WWE title defended? Because newsflash, Saturday Night's Main Event was made by the WWE Championship. It was an accident for real. Yeah, R-Truth, when he got the cover, that wasn't supposed to happen. You can see the genuine reaction, like, that wasn't supposed to happen. After the show, they eventually gave the title back to the champion. It was a horrible mistake. Yeah, that's true. They have no women's matches. Of course, you're celebrating because you hate women's wrestling, but for my sake, I love women's wrestling, and I hate there isn't a single match. If I'm able to show you, if I was able to show you the clip, Maria, I would show you genuinely how shocked the referee was. Because the referee is literally trying to tell R-Truth, kick out. Well, so he's trying to tell Nakamura, kick out, kick out, kick out. He doesn't kick out. So they gave the title back to him at the end of the show going, yeah, that wasn't meant to happen. The loser of that match anyway doesn't have to suffer Gunther on Raw. I really don't like what they're doing with Saturday Night's Main Event. I will not be watching Saturday Night's Main Event anyway, but I feel really depressed. This is what's on this weekend from the wrestling landscape. You've got SmackDown tonight. You've got TNA Under Siege. You've got Double or Nothing. Saturday Night's Main Event. And then you've got on Sunday TNA's Border Brawl, which is a wild concept, but that's all this weekend, as an example. I don't see why they're not making an effort with Saturday Night's Main Event. Because let's be real, Saturday Night's Main Event is, oh yeah, I forgot about Battleground. You bring back Saturday Night's Main Event. You bring back one of the voices of the show in Jesse Ventura. And you don't even make it. And now, from a nostalgic principle, the layout that they do the matches for, like the graphics, are really cool. But the effort into Saturday Night's Main Event, it doesn't feel like they care. And I actually think that's a bit of a shame, especially when they're running it against Double or Nothing. But then again, AEW are smart. Look at what AEW are doing with Double or Nothing. I won't be reviewing Saturday Night's Main Event. If anyone asks me, I won't be reviewing it. I won't be reviewing Battleground because I don't watch NXT as much. So for me, it'd be pointless. I'm not exactly glued into the storylines that they have, but what I do watch, I will be reviewing. Now we need to really dive into something, and Maria brought it up, and I'm kind of glad because it saves me having to bring it up, but even though I was going to. For the first time since 1989, which is WrestleMania 5, WrestleMania will be held in the same city, the same location. That has not happened since 1988 and 1989. I think that's wild. We can't get a Madison Square Garden WrestleMania, but we're going to have 2 events in Las Vegas. New Orleans, I said it the other night, New Orleans has been one of their best for crowds. And I think anybody, even the likes of Catherine, who has a very specific point of view on WWE, a lot stronger than I do, even though I'm very critical of WWE. Even Catherine will agree this is absolutely shocking because how good New Orleans is. Maria, very critical when she wants to be on WWE, but she's very fair as well. She'll agree, absolutely shocking. I think it's deplorable. I think it still is. I don't see where there's no appeal in New Orleans. I don't get it. I would rather New Orleans than Atlanta. WrestleMania 27 was horseshit. It needs upgrades. Seriously? They're pathetic. You know what location was listed but they didn't choose it, and I'm actually kind of gutted by it? I would really love to see WrestleMania again at the Hoosier Dome, Indianapolis. 2 amazing matches happened at that event, and we haven't had a WrestleMania at the Hoosier Dome since. I think that's horrible for Indianapolis. I don't get that choice either. I don't get that at all. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing in the way that you're taking away a good crowd for the sake of obsession over money. Here's the funny thing. After you've been to Las Vegas once, do you want to go back straight away? As a non-American, I'd be like, no. I wasn't sure if the Hoosier Dome was still up or not, but I know that was the last event in Indianapolis. The Lucas Oil Stadium. How many people does that seat? Lucas Oil Stadium. A capacity size of 67,000 with a retractable roof. Interesting. Okay. Home. I knew it was the home of the Indianapolis Colts. 67,000 people. That's not a bad thing. Oh wow. I haven't watched any NFL in a while, but that stadium is beautiful. The stadium is beautiful. I know it's WWE and it's cliche, but I'm just going to quickly share my screen for 2 seconds. Just imagine where it says Lucas Oil Stadium. Imagine through the glass window that you've got there. Imagine it just had a WWE logo. Like, not gonna lie, even I'll admit that would be such an amazing form of imagery. Like, see how this bit here. Imagine that was coloured in like the WWE logo or something, or WrestleMania logo. The way that it's shaped, I actually think that would be an incredible piece of imagery. And there's some things I will say. I think that's a beautiful stadium. I haven't watched NFL in quite a while, so I haven't seen this stadium in quite some time. But if that's the choice, I'm all in. I think it's a really nice choice. It's beautiful. Don't worry, it'll sell out night one, but somehow have more people in attendance for night two. Don't even get me started on that again, dude. That really is the weirdest shit of all time. But you put in a great point. Imagine AEW went to New Orleans the same weekend. Not a bad idea. Do it. In fact, you know what? Someone do me a quick Google search. And I want you to look up something very specific for me. Go and look up if AEW Revolution has been advertised a location for next year yet. All in at the Superdome wouldn't be a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I was thinking Revolution to start the year big. All in the Superdome would be nice, but I'm thinking Revolution. Or even Wrestle Dynasty or Wrestle Dream. Like, or imagine Forbidden Door in New Orleans as well. Fucking hell. Any pay-per-view, I'd be like, you know what? And I'm gonna say this, right? Obviously people obsess over will they sell out, will they not sell out? I don't care. Imagine AEW got at least 40, 45,000 at the Superdome. Imagine they got at least 45k at the Superdome. That'd be fucking insane. Can't see anything regarding next year's Revolution. Book it. Just do it. Be like, how much do you want for? How much does it cost to rent out? Fucking do it. This makes me think that unless this was locked in beforehand, we're getting another late April WrestleMania after our European tour. Well, WrestleMania night 2 is scheduled for my birthday. My 29th birthday is WrestleMania night 2 next year. Currently. Another European tour. I hope they don't drag it out. Because, well, you see what they've done. They've dragged it a lot. But changing the location just to do Las Vegas regularly. Here's the thing. We complain about certain towns being burnt out really quickly. Las Vegas could be one of those. AEW has stopped announcing pay-per-views. Yeah, I know they've stopped it, but I would do it that way though. I think it'd be such a good thing. I said thank you because you were in here supporting the chat, my friend. I always thank people who stand by the channel. Some people take their live chats for granted. I don't. And congratulations to Napoli for winning Serie A. Same scoreline as Inter Milan, but they won the league by a point. Incredible. Incredible. Simeone Inzaghi, the Man United job's available if you want it. Not yet, I wish it was. Even though I like our manager. But yeah, I said thank you when you appeared in Matthew's live chat last night. You're just constantly in here supporting the channel, mate. And it means a lot. Same with Catherine, you're always here. Stussy, you're always here. James, you're always here when you can. Maria as well. He's not in the chat right now, but Fernando. We go back and forth because his opinions are quite wild. But the guy as well, I appreciate his opinions. They can be quite opposite and maybe don't reflect my own, but every opinion's valued. I just hope guys will just behave. And McTominay and Lukaku were meant to see it. I know that's absolutely crazy. I still don't rate Lukaku, but yeah. Everybody that appears in the chat or appears on the channel at any point, including my co-host Ailey, everyone's opinions, everyone means value, and it's always strong. If it's in Las Vegas again, maybe they're trying to make WrestleMania into another Comic-Con where it's held at the same location most years. Well, that's what they've said. I did put up as a community tab post. Hold on. So what I put up was the plan is now to run WrestleMania on a regular basis in Las Vegas, not necessarily every year, but frequently. The idea is that the city wants to have a major destination sports event every year, and by definition, they're looking at the Super Bowl, the Final Four, the College National Championship Final, and WrestleMania. No, I don't have any of the cash based stuff. It's not my thing. TKO is based out of Vegas. That's true. That is true. Hello Fernando, how are you? And you certainly are here when your name is on. And speaking of that, say his name and he appears, but does he appear in 8-bit format? Let's go to our wrestling correspondent, Joe Hendry. I still think he's losing that world title soon, but I actually like that in 8-bit form. It is absolutely brilliant. Can you imagine years ago if WrestleMania was at Vegas in the late 90s, early 2000s, the APA would be all over it? I kid you not. The APA versus Right to Censor in a WrestleMania match in Vegas would have been fucking hilarious. Nothing is sacred anymore. It's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. We're in a manic zone, but we're really kicking up a notch. I know a few people. I know a few people that want WrestleMania to be in Europe, and I absolutely understand it. But I just don't think. I think certain events, are going to remain in the States. I think WrestleMania is one of those events where I don't think WrestleMania will ever go outside the US. And I actually don't think it ever should. I think the US should always have WrestleMania. Like, I stand by that. A SummerSlam coming back over to Europe, or the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, I'm alright with them going abroad, but I actually think WrestleMania should remain in the US. I think it would be an absolute expensive clusterfuck. Quite simply, it's just because of TKO. I watch women's boxing now and then. I saw the news, obviously, the other day, which was absolutely shocking. And rest in peace to Georgia. That was an absolute insane moment. Will the burial be complete this Sunday and have the TNA title change hands at Battleground? I don't think so, no. I don't think so. Speaking of which, hello there. The IWC believes Joe is losing to Trick Williams. The IWC, if they get their wish, then I'll die inside. TKO wants the money, so when Saudi or London pony up all that cash, it will go outside the US. I'm expecting it to go outside the US. I just don't think it should. I don't think that event should. But then people say, but All In went to Wembley twice. I was like, yeah, so? I think there's a different landscape. I just don't think it would go that well. If Trick wins the TNA title, then yeah, no, you're right. You'll find out, though, because of tonight. I think whatever happens tonight in the tag match at Under Siege, whoever loses that match, there's your championship. Yeah, it does. But then again, the WWE just has to ties everybody because they just love to go abroad. It would be surreal to have wrestlers who are under contract to AEW and WWE hold the TNA World title in the same decade. It would. I just don't want it to happen. I really don't want it to happen. Truth be told, I love Kenny Omega, but I did not want Kenny Omega to be TNA World Champion. I didn't want that at all. It didn't do anything. The guy was great, but I don't want it still. I don't want any NXT talent because, let's be honest, if they still think it's a development brand, a development talent should be the world champion of another promotion. That's like... That's like an LFG talent going out and becoming the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. It would be the death of the title. SummerSlam at Wembley, one of my favourite events. I love watching it. I love going back and watching SummerSlam 92 at the old Wembley. Incredible event. The TNA World Title is the only World Title Trick could win. I hope not, but yeah. There's another bombshell we need to talk about though, and it is TNA related, and it's kind of sad because it ties into when we start reviewing the show. Last night, on the 2 hour before the 2 hour broadcast went live. Now, I couldn't reply to Catherine because Catherine told me about it, so I couldn't respond to Catherine because Twitter was weird last night. TNA's opening match last night, Mustafa Ali, accompanied by the Order 4 versus the incomparable and the inevitable Ace Austin. The man taps out in his last ever TNA match. Now, from what's been reported, TNA offered the 28-year-old a new contract. They were trying to get him on a new contract, new deal, extended terms. And Ace Austin has went, no. Yeah, Ace Austin has officially left TNA. Last night was his last match. He's been taken off the Under Siege match. I posted it on the I posted it last night on the community tab. I was so fucking annoyed. Like, I have nothing against Ace Austin. The guy's a brilliant wrestler. He's been with TNA since 2019. No, they actually offered him a good contract. They were offering him more money, but he's decided to go. I don't know where he goes. Honestly, James, I was shocked to fuck. Like, I was stunned. I don't think anyone should rush signing Ace Austin. He does have a bit of a leg injury. I think he should go and recover first. I think he should put his health first, then consider his options. I think right now AEW needs to focus on their current roster. They need to focus on developing their current roster and not just throw money at Ace Austin to bring him into a division when, frankly, I've got nothing against him in terms of leaving because he deserves it. I'm just really annoyed that he's chose to leave now when TNA have been pushing him in the absence of Chris Bay. And before anyone says, no, they haven't been pushing him, whatever, he has been getting pushed. He's been in the tag scene frequently. He's been getting to headline shows. He had the title match with Moose that he should have won. He got to team back up with the Rascals again. He got to feature heavily with the NXT talent, with likes of Wesley. He featured heavy. He had an incredible match with Santana. He had an incredible match with Mustafa Ali. And now all of a sudden he's just left. I really don't understand it. The good thing for him though is he's 28. That is going to go in such good favour. I mean, he's been with TNA for 6 years. Just remember that. 6 years he's been in TNA. He could have left any time he chose not to. I think that's great for him. He's developed into one of the best young wrestlers in the world. He's great to watch. He's unique. And wherever he goes, he will be over like a motherfucker. I'm just sad that he's left before Chris Bay even comes back from injury. I think he'll regret that. I don't know where he goes. Who knows? He might be it might be an angle. I don't want to sound like I'm being naive here, but I would love it if it's just an angle. He taps out in his last match. He's injured. He gets written off. He's written off, so he leaves TNA, but then he comes back later on. I would like that, but I think he is just gone in general. I don't understand it. Here's the thing. TNA losing Ace Austin when there's talent on the Under Siege card that they should be dropping right now. Absolutely, James. It's a leg injury, which is quite sad because look at what I've included in the thumbnail, if it's still on there. Oh, wait, no, I've not put it there. But basically, on the original thumbnail before I changed it, I had Ace Austin tapping out to that knee bar, which is a shame. I like the way Mustafa Ali worked this match as well, but Ace Austin worked. He was top notch. But yeah, guys, your reactions to Ace Austin leaving TNA. I don't think he would be lost in AEW, but I get why you'd have some reservations. I hope it's an angle as well. I don't get why he's left. I really don't. I really don't. I actually think right now, based on circumstance, no detriment to AEW, no detriment to WWE, but Ace Austin, because of how unique he is, I actually wonder if either of those companies make sense for him. Oh, 100% it's a major loss. Maybe Stussy, maybe. I don't know. When I look at the current roster, yeah, Jeff Cobb is Matanza, yeah. When I look at Ace Austin, for example, and I look at the TNA roster, if it was up to me, if I was in charge of TNA, Ace Austin, Santana, Mustafa Ali, Nick Nemeth, Jeff Hardy, Leon Slater, Casey Navarro, Frankie Kazarian, The Great Hands, Northern Armory, Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr., the Aztec Warriors, Eddie Edwards, just because he's over with the crowd, I'll still say Joe Hendry. And even though I suspect he's going, so I've got him as like that's like they're all confirmed he's a split. And Sammy Callahan. Those are the only male TNA talent I would keep. And then I would bring in more younger talent and develop a roster from the men's side. Singles, world title, X Division. Oh, Steve Macklin as well. Steve Macklin and Eric Young. The international title scene, the X Division title scene, the men's tag team, and the world title. I would supplement those divisions, and then I would add more to like the rosters, young, exciting talents. The women is quite easy. Who I would keep and who I'm definitely getting rid of from that side. But the likes of Cody Deaner, get rid of him. Brian Myers, get rid of him. Flop Dollar, get rid of him. Moose, I'm sorry, get rid of him. There's so much that I'm saying, just go. And especially with 2-hour broadcast, there's enough time to feature the men and women the way they do, and it works. If they just do a little bit more. I don't think he would be. Not necessarily. Chris Bay I would keep, but I think it's going to be a long time before he comes back. The reason why I don't think Moose would be a loss is because when I look at the other roster, I think Moose has kind of outgrown TNA because like TNA doesn't really suit him anymore. But that's because of the actual way of wrestling they do. I don't think he fits that mold anymore. No, we don't, Catherine. We absolutely do not. Oh, and Mance Warner, I would definitely get rid of. I'm just saying he should just go anywhere. I don't care where. I just think he just needs to go. Matt Cardona, I actually think TNA should try and keep a hold of him. I can't. She's awful. I think Matt Hardy needs to stop. He needs to go. Johnny Dangle Curtis, he needs to go as well. But yeah, there's some things about TNA I'm going to obviously praise tonight. There's some things I'm going to critique because that's normal. But there's a lot here that I can get around and I can get behind. And there's some things that I physically can't get behind. So let us begin with our obviously the opening contest is, as we said, Ace Austin versus Mustafa Ali. We have on the card tonight, well, last night, but we have advertised Robert Bloody Stone and Santino Marella ahead of his return to the ring. They have an in-ring debate ahead of Blanchard versus Ariana Grace, which is tonight. We have First Class, AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, or Flop Dollar versus Callahan and Santana, top notch. We've got the Northern Armory. Again, I vouch for them. They're incredible. Against the Aztec Warriors. And we've got another Spitfire tag match. Yeah, it was a good opening segment. The match itself starts well. I think I don't often like recap videos, but I like this one. It was short. TNA do recap videos properly. I actually think other companies need to take notice. They don't go into 5-minute recaps. It's like 90 seconds. It's like 90 seconds to 2 minutes of this what happened last week, blah, 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 boom, show starts. Not, oh, by the way, this happened last week and proceeds to deliver. Doesn't work. It's not good television. It's boring. Jesus Christ. It's sad that I'm not going to hear the ABC theme song as well for Ace Austin and TNA anymore. That's another daunting feeling. We've got coming out to the ring first, Mustafa Ali. Again, Mustafa Ali's got one of the best entrances in TNA. He comes out surrounded by the Great Hands, his tag team faction, surrounded by Tasha Steelz, who's just incredible, and his FBI security. His left arm is taped up from his match with. He's still selling that match from Santana. I love that. That match was like a month ago, and he's still selling it. Mustafa Ali's character work since Rebellion has been second to none. That man is a fucking huge fumble from TNA. Tatanka Kid makes his debut tonight, I believe. No, it's tomorrow. Tatanka Kid makes his debut tomorrow. Yes, Saturday night's main event in July is in Atlanta. I'm expecting him to retire there. It makes sense. And he's going to lose. He'll lose his last match. Business custom, of course. Mustafa Ali selling the arm injury. You can still see the scars on his back. The guy has completely morphed. He's still the political figure, but he's becoming like a dictator, like an evil dictator in a way. Except obviously to the Order 4. He treats them the highest of regard, but everybody else is being treated like they're so beneath him. Except for one person, of course, which is understandable. Ace Austin comes out, his leg is taped up. Again, obvious what Ali's gonna do. He is gonna work the leg, and we see that throughout the entire match. You see jackknife roll-ups. You see an old-fashioned roll-up. You see the old corner rolls. Leg DDTs. Clever by Ace Austin throughout the match. Santana is watching this, by the way. I can't wait for the next match between him and Ali, because Ali in this match is proving that he has a new weapon in his arsenal. It won't be Braun versus Goldberg. It'll be Goldberg versus Gunther. So there's a spoiler for who wins the world title match on Raw. Mustafa Ali locks in a sharpshooter. We get a Boston Crab, the 450 splash. Little bits of main roster fuckery with the interference, of course, but that's okay. But then following the conclusion of the match, it's too much for Ace Austin to handle. He's been worked on the leg. Mustafa Ali, a very fast knee bar. Did you notice how fast he tapped out? And I mean like bang, 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 like how fast he tapped. Mustafa Ali gives you like a very sinister look as well. Like the way he looks in the match, like you can see that he's not there. Like he's like, you know, when you look at someone like they're in a trance. Mustafa Ali looks like he was in a very aggressive trance, like he was in deep space. That man deserves to be a world champion for any promotion. Besides Mike Santana, those two are world champions. Believable world champions, unlike Jey Uso. You can sense there's something coming. You know what I mean? Like you can sense they're not done with this morphing of the character. And I am very impressed with it. Like, I really am. I'm really impressed with it. Backstage, we get the... What's the nicest way to say it without hurting feelings? We get the talking squirrel, Alicia Edwards. That's what I'm going to call her, the talking squirrel. I will say this now. Alicia Edwards, you might be married to a great wrestler, but Jesus, woman, you're a horrible promo. You are terrible. She needs to go and speak to some of her colleagues about cutting a promo. Hello there. If I may ask you, who do you blame the most for this WWE downfall product-wise, TKO or Vince? I blame the booker, Triple H. TKO can get blamed for the madness of the financial side, but for me, if you're talking about product and booking-wise, creative direction, I have to go for the man in charge. No, I understand. I mean, I've watched TNA since day one. It's difficult in the way that it can be hit or miss. I won't lie to that. Start watching AEW if you like. I mean, the pay-per-views this weekend. It's worth a watch. Triple H, yeah, he is in charge of the booking. I think, for me, the booking, anything where the product is not shining from a creative standpoint, I hold them accountable. I always hold the booker accountable. If it had been 6 years ago, I would instantly say Vince McMahon. Right now, I'm saying Triple H. What about yourself? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair. Give it a shot. If anything, watching something even once, you might get a different feeling. It might give you a different enjoyment to professional wrestling. I would say give it a shot. Because you never know. You might see something that you might go, fuck, that feels good. That feels good. Any pay-per-view recommendation to watch firstly? Honestly, I would go straight in. I would go straight in with this pay-per-view this weekend. What a better way to start than the pay-per-view that's coming up? Otherwise, I would say Full Gear 2019. It's great to go back to the first pay-per-view when AEW were a fully fledged company. In that circumstance, when they were really going all out for the product. Going back to 2019 for Full Gear is perfect. But Revolution last year was incredible. Yeah, Full Gear 19. Revolution 2024 was brilliant. Forbidden Door 2023. It's a good shout as well. There's some really good events. Double or Nothing 2023 is a good watch. I think it's more what do you feel might be your thing? Like how do you gravitate towards? But they're all good events. I would give them a shot. But yeah, James says I'm being polite, but yeah, the Talking Squirrel. Really bad promo. Really, really bad promo. Yeah, guys, give Jones a welcome to the chat. Let's give a big welcome to Jones. I don't know how Alicia Edwards cannot every single day. Let's be real. I don't particularly find Moose interesting, but Moose is actually a decent promo. Brian Myers gives you a bit of a modest, old school promo. Eddie Edwards gives you good promos. How is Alicia Edwards a horrible promo when she's got all that experience around her? I don't get it. Where do you think Ace Austin ends up going? I really don't know. I hope it's an injury angle. I really do. I hope it's an injury angle. I think he should stay where he is. I think right now TNA needs him too much for him to just go. But I think if he does leave, I would probably say AEW. But that whole thing seems so damn weird. I know I was watching last night. I just don't get it. It was all sudden. It made no sense. War Dogs New Japan would be cool for Ace Austin. No, I don't think so. Yeah, Scott D'Amore confirmed it, which was absolutely mental. Yeah, his leg is fucked. I actually think he might go. I think he might go MLP. That's another thought. What if he goes and signs for Scott D'Amore? It's too bad we're not got any Bullet Club Gold right now. I think Ace Austin fits into Bullet Club Gold like straight away. Alicia's a good valet. I don't think so, dude. I really don't. A good valet has to have interest. She doesn't get. She doesn't give it. What do you see happening with AAA and WWE? Renamed to NXT Mexico and becomes a Mexican NXT brand. That's it. I was thinking MLP after Scott comments. I would have no problem with that, actually. Eddie Kingston returned tomorrow to take out Gabe Kidd. Is that after he's had 12 cheeseburgers? Just out of interest, because Gabe Kidd obviously is not in this match. But is Eddie Kingston going to return after he's had 12 cheeseburgers? I'm sorry. I used to rate Eddie Kingston a long time ago. But for me, he got sloppy and his matches just became the same thing. And I'm like, I can't take you seriously. His last good match for me was the match with CM Punk. Think how long ago that was. Scapegoat makes sense. We might see a Darby Allin return. We never know. Hook's another possibility. I'm hoping Jay White's somewhere. We don't know what's happening with Adam Copeland. We have the whole league here, only Scapegoat missing the picture. I think he's going to be leaving them soon. I think Darby returns it all in to confront Moxley after the title match. You know what would be really cool? The lights go off and he scales to the ring like Sting from the rafters. That'd be so cool. Jack Perry's not going to be in a main event. He's good for the mid card. Jack Perry's good for the mid card scene. Main event, nah. He had his main event twice and he only delivered once. He only delivered in one main event, in my opinion. No disrespect to him. It's just what I believe. The only main event he delivered was the Fatal 4-Way at Double or Nothing. 2023. Sorry, Double or Nothing 2024. What the fuck am I saying? Why don't we have weight divisions in wrestling like real life? I mean, we used to in a way. It used to be capped. It's not so much anymore. I think the main picture is Darby dethroning Moxley with Danielson and Sting return to help him take out Death Riders and dethrone Mox. Mox only got his reign because he stole that title shot from Darby. Yeah, that's a good callback. And that's a callback that works. Yeah, I've been watching the junior tournament. I was going to review it, but it's a lot to go through. I'm definitely going to review the final. Absolutely, I'll be doing watch-alongs for the G1 though. Not live. I'll do what I did last year. The rewatch watch-alongs. You know, for someone that puberty skipped his voice, Nick Wayne has actually done very well over there. I've been very surprised. He's done very well over there. He's killing it match to match. I don't think you can keep Darby Allin as champion for too long. But you just know his feeling would be there. Like, you know that... You know that even if he's champion for a month, because a month is fine. Darby Allin doesn't need a long title reign. But Darby Allin for a month, just picture the excitement. Jay White I was thinking of, but I think potentially Kenny Omega is a heel. Because picture this. Darby Allin is your built top babyface. Kenny Omega unifies his titles and then goes, you know what, fuck this, I'm bored of it. He drops his title, wins the Continental Classic, and then just hammers Kenny Omega. Gabe Kidd versus Moxley. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Gabe Kidd has replaced Shota Umino. Like, that's his Japanese Death Rider, you know what I mean? Like, his Japanese representative. Like, his New Japan rep for the Death Riders. Shota Umino's been cast aside, and Gabe Kidd's replaced him. As a small Mexican, I took pride in the cruiserweight division. No way I could compete with heavyweights like Kane, Warrior, Nash. Cruiserweights, light heavyweights, fucking amazing. Incredible divisions that need to be treated with more respect. Hopefully this Paragon versus Callis family Double Nothing going to build Fletcher versus Cole for the TNT title all in. Our boy Fletcher with gold at the main pay-per-view. See, I was thinking Kyle Fletcher until Dallas. Actually, I'm going to call him that. Until Don Callis confirmed who the team was, which we'll come to when we review Collision. I have another thing. So we have, as I've said, the Talking Squirrel. The Talking Squirrel is talking about the matches for Under Siege, the setup for Impact as well. The system are all standard. Eddie Edwards talks about how he wants to get rid of Cody Deaner. I'm actually hoping for a heel win. Moose talks about Elijah again. Elijah's I would get rid of Moose to keep Elijah. Elijah's a far bigger star. And of course he wants to beat the shit out of Joe Hendry, which is understandable. And then we go to commercial break. I don't think Darby is world champ material. I don't think Jey Uso is world championship material. But if Jey Uso can win a world title, then so can Darby Allin. That's just going to be my reason now. If someone as shit as Jey Uso can be world champion, then Darby Allin can be world champion. That's where we're at right now in 2025, bud. I can't understand why WWE doesn't send wrestlers like LA Knight, AJ Styles to TNA. People have history over there to actually hype this collab. It's because they're on the main roster, dude. Because they're on the main roster. Yes, you are correct. He will. It is become strongly linked. They are in the process. Roman Reigns is going to appear in the Street Fighter movie. Triple A is going to be the exact same, and I hate it. That's not what a partnership is. This is monopolizing at the worst. It's horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. Let the talent work against each other. It should not be we're better than you, because that's what the NXT are basically trying to be done. They're trying to put NXT as we're better than you when NXT doesn't have the history, the prestige, and the enjoyment that TNA does or AAA. That's no disrespect to NXT, by the way. If any NXT specific fans come in here and attack me for this, I'm not disrespecting your brand. I'm just talking facts. Big facts, obviously. I am going to try watch a little bit more NXT, not because Stephanie Vancouver, etc. is on there, but I want to try and see how the development of the talent is going, because one thing I did say quite recently that had me disappointed. What had me disappointed was how far the men's division is done. Rev Pro is not going to be part of NXT Europe. They already tried Rev Pro, and Rev Pro said no. They'll go for other companies though, but not Rev Pro. Not hyped for NXT Europe. It's not that I'm not hyped, but they tried NXT UK and it failed. Now, I don't think he said CMLL is dead. But I think to say CMLL is dead because of Grand Slam Mexico, I don't think so. CMLL gets great shows in that beautiful stadium they've got. I don't know what NXT is going to do. I'm more concerned about NXT Japan. Jey Uso is not that he is a better wrestler than Jey Uso. He's a better mic worker. He gets compared a lot to Jeff Hardy and Sting. But the reason why I've said Jey Uso is because Jey Uso is somebody who should just, you wouldn't think or put as a world champion. Darby Allin's kind of the same. Good wrestler, but not every good wrestler should be a world champion. I don't think Rev Pro are going to end up with NXT Europe. I think it'll be other companies. I think it'll be Progress. Sorry, Matt. Rev Pro already do work with AEW. That's why I don't think it'll be Rev Pro. Like they've got their links to New Japan and they've got their links to AEW. They told WWE to fuck off because WWE offered $1 million to buy them. My friend works for Rev Pro. He was laughing. Like my mate works for Rev Pro, and he was laughing at the $1 million offer. Oh, he has got amazing wrestling matches. He actually should be doing more of that than the extreme stuff. I actually think the extreme stuff should be like a rare thing for him now. Not in the sense of we're expecting it, but he should bring it out when he really needs to. But when he wrestles, he is really good. I think they'll get Progress. I think they'll get Progress. North, not a bad idea either. Realistically, I'd rather have Darby dethrone Moxley instead of Ospreay because they've been built this angle for this story, and the story is for Darby. He was the origin of this Moxley in the first place. The origin of the story was long before Darby Allin anyway, but Darby Allin is an important cog. I think the way it's looking, Carnival, is I think it's going to be Eddie Kingston, but I'm not sure if that's the right idea. Rev Pro, I've only ever seen one match ever. It was Ospreay against someone. There's some. I was at the last two Rev Pro anniversary shows, which are held on the All In weekend. It's going to be Forbidden Door this year because Forbidden Door's in the UK this year. But some of the matches over there are so fucking good. If you get a chance, watch Michael Oku versus Luke Jacobs from last year. That match stole the show. And it was the main event, obviously. AEW are recovering now. They did for a while have some major problems. I won't disagree. They were having problems, but I think right now they're doing fine. In terms of the problems with CM Punk and AEW, all of them are held accountable, in my opinion. They're all individually responsible. CM Punk acted like a little bitch. Jack Perry deliberately pissed him off. Tony Khan didn't step in. Hangman Page at one point ruined him. Like, all in all, they're all as bad as each other. They should have reined it in. I think if it's Eddie Kingston, then I want to see cheeseburger signs all across the arena. Double or Nothing is prediction streams tomorrow. I'm going to come to the end because I've got a few like show updates for everybody. I've got a few things I'm definitely bringing up at the end of the show. Right, let's continue. So, back from commercial break, we've got Rosemary talking to the camera. Speedball versus Mike Bailey is going to be one of them, probably the show stealer. It could end up being the show stealer. That's the weird thing. He did indeed brutalize them. Back from break, obviously, Rosemary's talking to Xia Wood. She will face her tonight on Under Siege. I'm eager to see how that one goes. Then, of course, Xia Li gets her head kicked in. Pardon the pun. Kinda. In a way, it is like that, except it's not family tie. It's just like, types of wrestlers in that way that work together. Yeah, Eddie got injured by Gabe Kidd when they wrestled for the Never Openweight Championship. No, the Strong Championship. Sorry, Strong Championship. Gabe Kidd versus Kenny Omega was absolutely incredible at the start of the year. It's one of my favorite matches already of 2025. He's a very unique talent, and I'm so glad for him. He's only in AEW until the Battle of the Super Juniors tournament's over. And then after that, he's going to go back to... I think he's going to win the G1. If it's not him, then it's going to be... If it's not him, then it'll be David Finlay. And I think somehow, someway, Gabe Kidd will get the world title shot. That, for me, has to be the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Or at least be the secondary main to Tanahashi's last match, whoever that is. Speaking of which, Tanahashi versus Yuya Amura at Dominion. Ching, ching, ching. We have up next one of the best matches on the card. Northern Armory versus the Aztec Warriors. Travis Williams and Judas Icarus. The Aztec Warriors I've already mentioned. These are four guys I would keep on this roster all day, every day. Laredo Kid, Octagon Jr., Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams. They're so good. So good. Essentially, yes, but but not just those. Right now, if he really likes his style, just stick to Josh Alexander. But to be fair, right now there's a lot of good talent in pro wrestling that anybody can catch your eye. Which is quite scary, but that can happen. Even Shelton Benjamin looks relaxed. This match was perfect. This match went about just about the 10-minute mark. And honestly, it didn't feel like it was rushed. It felt good flow. I have one little concern. This is for it was Octagon Jr. Octagon Jr. does a running. He does like a run handspring moonsault to the outside of the ring. If you go back and actually, I'm going to show you. 2 seconds. I'm actually going to bring up what worried me about the match. I'm not going to play the clip. I'll bring up the video and then I'm going to pause it and I'm going to show you what worries me. Hey Doug, how are you, buddy? If you're on tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you. Oh, Under Siege is already up for... Under Siege is already linked there for Watch Wrestling. Yeah, Eddie got injured by Gabe Kidd. It was horrible. I'm going to be watching that on my free monitors tonight. Ring of Honor, SmackDown, and Under Siege. Well, actually, I won't be watching SmackDown. Fuck that. But let me just quickly get this up. So give me 2 seconds. I'll need to... it's on mute anyway. That's fine. Let me just find the match because it had me a little bit concerned. Where is it? There we go. Right, it's this match here. Eric Young fighting the fans, by the way, this entire match was absolutely brilliant. Alright, I found it here, so I'm just going to hit pause in a second. There. Right. Look at this, and you'll see why I was very concerned. This is Octagon Jr. Brilliant talent, but this is fucking terrifying. Look how close his head is to the ring apron. The move looks fantastic, but minimal margins. He could have really hurt himself. Mariah, mate, I'll be surprised if she shows up. I don't think I can show that. I don't think I can realistically show the clip. But what I'll do is I'll just hit the. If I'm very quick. That is mental. Yeah, I was the same. I was close to put that in the thumbnail. I was really tempted, but I was like, nah, maybe not. But I was like, what the fuck? Wait, why? Like, if he had hurt himself, I would have been gutted because, like, he's a brilliant young talent. He is. He's really young. Like, you think how young Octagon Jr. is. Oh, Billy Joel has cancelled all his concerts because of his brain. Yeah, Octagon Jr. is only... Can't be. It's not that one, surely. Can't be. Is it this one? Aye, yes. He's such a young lad as well, and I mean, like, really young. I was glad TNA signed him because I didn't think TNA were going to sign him when they did. Yeah, Golden Magic is what he's called in Mexico. So he is. Yeah, good age. He's 34. He's 35 in. He's 35 in July. But he is literally called Golden Magic because nobody knows what his birth name is. So cool. Unbelievable wrestler. If you've never watched him wrestle before, go and give him a watch. I really recommend it. But that dive was terrifying. There have been new creative pitches for the Wyatt Six, and there have been talk that the group may finally return to SmackDown brand sooner than you think. Ugh. Fuck the faction. It's pointless. Oh, he was brilliant in Defy. My man, I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow if you're on the show. I really liked how the commentary kept going back and forth about Eric Young and the dog collar match that he had with Steve Macklin recently. The mental effect he's having is insane. Oh, we've got some great names on this channel, and I mean, it says a lot. I mean, this is what we think of Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. This is what we think of Max Caster. And then this is what we generally think of Booker T. We hide ourselves and pray for forgiveness. They're not going to do anything with him. I hate what they're doing with Nakamura. Nakamura is literally one of my favorite ever wrestlers. And he's been given nothing. What? Oh, how stupid is... Oh, he's there to take the pin from what? Okay. Contrary to what people believe, this is going to be very interesting. Josh Alexander was on Shaq Wrestling, SHAK, and he said that he chose AEW over WWE because Tony Khan actually cares for his employees. Not always, it's mostly just reviews, fun interactive streams, gaming streams, but we do the odd watch along here and there. It's just difficult. Aleister Black versus LA Knight versus Nakamura qualifying match. God almighty. That is a shame for Nakamura. He deserves so much better than that. Ugh. That is crap. The Aztec Warriors would win the match. The Superman forearm from Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr. hits a diving splash for the win. We go to commercial break. Xia Brookside responds to Rosemary. Xia Brookside has really improved on the mic recently. Really good. Yeah, absolutely. Check out Graps TV. That's obviously an American channel, a good friend of this channel. It fits in really well with the American landscape. They can do watch-alongs. I'm hoping eventually to do some watch-alongs more often when I have a much more available space. It's hard for me to do watch-alongs. Not essentially. Well, he's using Josh Alexander, so good reason to avoid SmackDown. The lineup tonight is so underwhelming. I will be watching Under Siege instead. Because I'm actually, for once, TNA has a mystery opponent lined up that actually will hopefully be a mystery opponent. I'm eager to see how it goes. Remember, it's not a pay-per-view, it's a TV special, but it's in Ontario. It's going to be really good. He isn't essentially like that. There are talent he hasn't used before, but I'm going to give you a big swing, right? Because I said it to Matthew. I said on Matthew's stream the other night, Graps TV. Grizzled young veterans were fumbled when they came in AEW after how they attacked FTR at All In. Then they just disappeared. He's been using them a lot recently, and it's good to see. So he does have elements where there are talent that aren't getting used, and this is true. But when he really finds a picture for them, he puts them in. He will find a way. He will find a way to put them in. But I still stand by it. Grizzled young veterans were fumbled for a long time. Now, on the other hand, they look like they're competing again. Have I got them in the thumbnail, actually? Hold on. Oh, yeah, he did. Let's see, have I got that in the thumbnail? Because I had it originally. No, I don't. I've got Tony Storm, Josh Alexander, and the bank statement. Well, the statement maker from Mercedes Mini, which I'm looking to review. Grizzled Young Veterans versus FTR. That'll be a good match. I actually have a very good screenshot of the Grizzled Young Veterans that I took from last night's show. And I really like it, so I'm actually going to put it on screen now. I already told you he didn't refuse to use Ricky Starks. That's factually not true. You know it. Oh yeah, I already told you that. It's going to be FTR versus Cope Christian at All In. I told you that. Just like I told you last year, I said it would be Okada versus Omega at All In, and it'll be the main event. Look at this photo, and then my phone's going to disappear. Look at this screenshot. I don't think they're in the championship match, Fernando, just because they're not there yet. But at some point, I think they're going to be. Guy, just a bit of advice, although guys don't offend each other. A bit of advice, never tell a woman to calm down. That's all I'm going to say. But Ricky Starks, it's been proven. Just like Aleister Black, Ricky Starks refused creative. He was offered, he was offered main event programs and said no. I'm sorry, but if you're offered something and you say no, you get what you deserve. Miro as well, yeah. Ricky Starks, people said he's going to be a star in NXT. Stephanie Vaquer is a bigger star than you. Jordan Grace is a bigger star than you. Roxy is a bigger star than you. I refuse to call her by her NXT name. Delta is a bigger star than you. All Eagle Ethan Page is a bigger star than you. Sol Ruka is a bigger star than Ricky Starks. Yeah. He's only had one good singles match in his entire career, and that was the match against CM Punk when Steamboat was the referee. Yeah. Generally, I said this was going to happen. The only difference is I've got no shame. What is Tony doing with May? She said she already said she wanted to leave. So he's basically said, well, if that's it, then fine. He's basically just went, well, fine then, we'll just leave it. He had plans to extend their feud all the way into the summer. And then she said, actually, no, I'm leaving. So he's basically fast-tracked the match at Revolution. But Ethan Page, I actually have no issue with Ethan Page leaving AEW. I don't think Ethan Page was doing well in AEW anyway. He done really well in TNA. He went to AEW and they stuck him in Matt Hardy, and that killed him. And it's a shame because if you actually look at Ethan Page is really good. He's good on the mic. He's got a good work style. He's actually very good timing. If you actually look at Ethan Page in the ring, I actually don't think Ethan Page misses a step. What is Levesque doing with Cross? He's putting him on a cross. I'll exit for a second. I'll exit.
Oh god.
I had to do that. I thought that was absolutely funny. Right, we are nearly an hour and a half in. Song change. Mariah May did need the time off. She was also stagnating a little bit. I think Mariah May's been good, but I think she was stagnating a little bit. So I'm glad she asked for the time off. Yeah, I thought that was okay. But yeah, it was the best decision. It was the best decision for him to leave. When you're stuck with Matt Hardy, except Jeff or Leon Slater. Luckily, Leon Slater's good. Ethan Page made the right move to leave. Oh, thank fuck. I can't wait for her heel faction. Yo, Darius, my man, what's cooking, brother? We're still reviewing TNA, but we're coming to Collision very soon. I do have a few for you indeed, sir. He wasn't using them properly. No. I don't know. I don't know. End of the day, if a talent... Here's the funny thing, and it's what I don't like about tribal comments right now. We don't sign talent to bench them. He's not back from injury yet. Yeah, that's true. You know what? I actually honestly could see that happening, but I don't know if he will. Fingers crossed Shida's back sooner rather than later. Yeah, I really hope we get a heel Joshi faction with her as the leader. Yeah, I said that. I said that with all truth. I believe Tony Khan fumbled Ethan Page because what that character he's got in NXT would be really good in AEW. It would be. I don't think anyone can. Here's the thing, and this is the reality about bookers, not just companies, but bookers themselves. Not one talent is never going to be. Not one single talent is never not going to be fumbled. At some point, you're going to get fumbled in your career. Even the greatest wrestler of all time got fumbled. So that shit can happen. Yeah, like this is a. You know, this is why I like Ethan Page. At least he's honest. They're getting back to their level and they're doing well. Zodiac, my main dude. What is happening, fella? We are still reviewing TNA, but you haven't really missed much. I was slagging off Ricochet for like 9 months, and he's actually proved me wrong. I was slagging him off in WWE because he was being used like a brain fart, but I have liked what he's been doing recently. We get a quick enhancement talent match. Eddie Edwards versus Jake Painter. I guess he painted that one. This was just enhancement talent squash just to get Eddie Edwards prepared for his match against Cody Deaner, where Cody Deaner's contract is on the line again. Why the fuck Cody Deaner is still wrestling in TNA makes no sense to me. The guy's washed. No, it's all right. Honestly, Zodiac, it's fine. It's fine. Admittedly interesting. All right, then. I can't wait to hear you evaluate this because we're nearly there. We've got little bits to go. We are coming up to a negative for TNA in just a minute, and it's the next segment is a negative, and it's the Mance Warner. It's Mance Warner video segment. Shite, skipping it. First class AJ Francis and Casey Navarro versus Sami Callihan and Mike Santana. All I'm going to say is the thumbnail gave me the shot to the head. Pardon the pun. This match was good. It's just a shame that big bald goof is in the match. But the heels win here. Right, this is also really a fucking annoying thing. I agree, Catherine, it's not working. It's not working at all. I'll tell you what's really pissing me off about this. Jackson O'Shea, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Again, he's on TNA. Karrion Kross in AEW, I'd really like as well. O'Shea Jackson on TNA commentary. I hate O'Shea Jackson. that he is getting these privileges when he's done nothing. Cody Deaner was never good. I don't know. We need to ask ODB. She'll know. He wouldn't work in AEW. He would work better in a smaller pond. I think that's a bit harsh on Karrion Kross that he wouldn't work in AEW. The guy's a mixed martial artist. It's a heavy striking style. I would stick Karrion Kross in the Don Callis family and kick out Rocky Romero and the other bald bastard. Where do you see Shayna Baszler in that? I think Shayna Baszler might. I think she's going to take time away. I would like her. I think TNA needs her more than AEW does. If she goes to TNA, I'll be happy. They need talent. But if she ends up in AEW, I've got no issue with that. Shayna Baszler is top notch. She's another WWE fumble that really annoyed me. Mustafa Ali, Karrion Kross, Shayna Baszler, they are WWE fumbles. Dakota Kai, a WWE fumble. What is Triple H doing to Gunther? Making him Pat McAfee's bitch. Shayna Baszler versus Chris Statlander. The book. Actually, I was thinking Shayna Baszler. Dolph Ziggler. Yep. 100%. Yep, Darius spot on. Shayna Baszler, I actually think right now, Shayna Baszler walks in there and she has a brilliant program with Ty Conti. Anna Jay. Those would be my first two programs for her. Because they all fit. When Nick Nemeth goes and wins 3 championships in separate and free promotions in single year, that's when you know WWE fucked him up. Shayna should team up with Marina. Not a bad idea. Shayna Baszler, to be fair, Marina Shafir, she's amazing. But Shayna Baszler suits the Death Riders far more than she does. Shayna versus Tessa, that would be brutal. That would be brutal. Oh yeah, for sure. I think if you want nuclear heel heat, Mercedes Moné with Don Callis cooks every time. Shayna Baszler versus Tessa would cook because they can both wrestle, and you can just use the sheer hatred for one of them. Cross worked the best in TNA. That's true. See, James, you understand my vision. It's the mixed martial arts of Anna Jay and Ty Conti that stands out why I would have her against Shayna Baszler. That would be an amazing feud. And you can work up the ladder. It would be so good. Casey Navarro, he gets the win in this match with the blessing in disguise, which is just the running. It's like a running neck breaker slam, but in a way, it's a really effective move. It's similar to Naito's Destino, except he fully extends his body, unlike Naito when he sits them down into a DDT version. I really like this move. Casey Navarro needs to get away from Francis. He's too good. He's too good not to do it. Now for the worst segment of the show. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to put it as a banner. And then I want you guys just to tell me how you react appropriately. I would love for you guys just to tell me your immediate thoughts and reaction to this segment, or do it in emojis. But this is the next segment. 320 subscribers now. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. I think in terms of overall success, for sheer accomplishments, I think it goes Moxley, Roman, then Rollins. In terms of like total amount of titles won, I think I would say Moxley. And I'm not putting a bias towards company specific. I'm basing it on I think he's won the most titles. James, thank you. Spot on. This was Jesus Christ. This segment was insulting. Oh, this segment actually hurt my ears and actually hurt my eyes. You know when a talent is brainwashed? When they used to be in the company and then they tear it to shreds. Robert Stone, formerly known as Robbie E, a former TNA World Tag Team Champion, a former TNA Television Champion, and he is so brainwashed by his NXT character that he actually shits the fuck on TNA here. This is the worst segment of the week. I'm not even kidding. This is the worst segment of the week. And think about the shit that we watched on Raw this week. Oh, come on, guy, come on. That is just wrong. Even you know that's wrong. Come on. If you're basing it off importance, Seth Rollins has only ever had one meaningful world title reign. That was his first reign, and I was there for his first UK title defense. Don't do that. Darius, I swear to God, this segment was crap. It only got good when Masha Slamovich came in, and even then it went horrible. Worst segment of the year, yeah, absolutely. You do a power bomb and a Death Valley driver through a table, and it still doesn't break on Tessa Blanchard. That's possible, Jones. I actually would like that. Seth Rollins is a good wrestler. But what has he done in the past couple of years has been significant. 2 table botches. I'll show you. Look. I'll actually show you, sir. Part 1. We already told you he was going to do that, though. He won the main event. But is it really the biggest event of the year when everyone's agreed it was the worst event of the year? Let's be real. His WrestleMania win actually has been shit. This will be a very quick view, so watch this. This will be very quick. Two table botches. Very rare in TNA do you get a botch like that from a table, but two botches on this within minutes. That was like 45 seconds to 45 seconds to a minute. So bad. Yeah, 100%. He needs to start dressing like. He needs to start going back to that serious character that he used to be, that Messiah gimmick, but make it a little bit more different. His faction's going to end up the same way that was. It's basically just bloodline without family. It's the second. It's another version. That's all it is. I wanted the Dangerous Alliance done properly in 2025, but we're not getting it. It's horseshit. This segment was poor. This segment made Masha Slamovich look stupid ahead of her title match tonight. Absolutely embarrassing. And we go to another commercial break. We come back. Matt Cardona is backstage, confirms that his title match is postponed because Steve Macklin is not fit to compete. But his match will happen on Thursday. International title match. Steve Macklin's going to win that, I'm telling you in advance. Another quick break. Seth's not having good matches at the moment, though. What are you basing this on? Seth's not had a good match in ages. And I'm saying this as a Seth Rollins fan. He's not had a good match in months. It's true. You can say Roman. I don't particularly care about Roman. I'm not a Roman fan. I've never really cared about Roman Reigns. But Seth Rollins... Is Seth Rollins more charismatic than Moxley? Sure. But in terms of who's having better matches, you can honestly say at times they're on par. Because they just feel the same. But Seth Rollins hasn't had a good match in a very long time. And I say that with respect to the man. I say that with respect. It's been a long time since he's had a good match. You're kidding, right? I'm not being unfair. How am I being unfair? When I look at his recent work, the WrestleMania triple threat wasn't good. The steel cage match, arguably, you could say was a spot fest match. But in terms of the good match with Punk, look at the match they had on the Netflix main event, the first Raw Netflix main event. You could say that was good. That was good. Like, you could say that was good. The steel cage match, I don't think was good at all. I'm being honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I think what's letting him down. This is what I think's letting down Seth Rollins. And this is not. I don't think this is all entirely his fault. He's not been booked in back to back good televised matches where he can go 15, 20, 25 minutes on a Monday Night Raw and just absolutely destroy it. I don't think he's had that in a long time. That's what I think is the best of Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins is constantly working matches, he shines. When he's not, and he's just here and there in matches that don't make sense, it hurts him. I hope he gets to start doing more televised matches soon. It'll do him the world of good. It will. And I stand by that. He's one of the few talents that you should be booking every week. Oh. This is over-exaggeration. It was decent until all the clusterfuckery, and then they just bottled it. We already called it on the preview, if you remember. We said that the Heyman-Rollins heel turn was going to happen. I mean, I said it leading up to... I said, a month before WrestleMania. I was like, it's going to happen. But the way they went about it was so bad because Paul Heyman can't hit a low blow to save himself. When I look at both matches, both of them all share the same thing. They're all spot fests. One was just more violent than the other. But in reality, I'm not even going to compare either or because I just don't know what to expect. I don't know what people's expectations are these days for one match to the other. That's why I'm not comparing, if that makes sense. In terms of overall wrestler, I think you're right. In terms of character work, it's interesting. I said it for a joke, but I stand by it. Paul Heyman's low blow on Roman Reigns, it looked like he was giving him a hand job. Like, it was weird. And then when Pat McAfee done it on Raw, I'm like, mate, this is grim. It's just embarrassing. Up next, in what could potentially be, and it's going to be, I'm saying this now, the final match of Spitfire as a tag team versus Vipress and Maserati. I hope she can run fast. This tag team, Danny Luna needs to go back to being on her own, but Jesus Christ, they have wasted this tag team constantly. The tag titles have been wasted because of all the same tag title match, the same time, every time. Horrible. We get a post match attack from the champions that fails, and then of course the challengers sit on the ring apron after holding the titles again. Shit match. Matt Hardy ahead of Under Siege in the tag team title match versus Nick Nemeth and his bitch brother. He declares him Leon Slater Hardy with a pep talk. Matt Hardy with a pep talk, ladies and gentlemen. Shite. As for this authority debate, James is right. Worst segment of the year by far. TNA let themselves down. Main event, Joe Hendry and Elijah versus the System. For 13 minutes. Decent match. Good face-to-face angles. I think Moose and Joe Hendry actually linked up really well in this match, to be fair. But for me, the importance of this match right here was how they use Elijah when he's not in the title picture. I really liked that. John Cena. Your bias is showing. Come on. It's definitely Cena. You look at the world champions right now. The best champion right now is Hiroki Goto. The worst world champion is John Cena. His title reign is worse than Jey Uso's. I'm not kidding. Yeah, he needs to step aside and do something else. I actually think Leon Slater and Jeff Hardy would be a good tag team since Jeff Hardy's not getting that X Division title anymore. His last title reign before this, though, was shit, though. I'll say that. If this is your argument for why Cena's not a bad world champion, then goodness sake. His heel turn has been fucking awful. No good match, no good promo, no good segments, nothing worth watching. Is John Cena a star? I don't like the guy, but I can't deny it. Yes, he is. He's a finished star. He's finished. And none of it's been good. It's not been good. Jesus. When it says a lot that I'm saying Cena's a worse world champion than Jey Uso, think about that. Think how much that must make me feel to say that Cena is a worse world champion than Jey Uso. Like, all in all, think about that. Think how serious I have to be to say that Jey Uso is a better world champion than John Cena right now, and I hope Cena and Jey Uso lose their titles very, 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 very fucking soon. Think about that. Cena is the worst world champion right now, and it's not even close. All you John Cena childhood fans, I'm sorry if I killed your childhood by saying that you're 17-time champion shit. 1 hour 53. TNA, good show. There's obviously some things in here that I absolutely would fuck about and get rid of. But not bad, not bad, not bad. Elijah with with his tombstone pile driver, I fucking love it. And the guitar shot was perfect. Visionary. It's gonna happen. If Brock Lesnar never leaves WWE, Cena Championship run never happens. I think he still gets 1 or 2 just because he was rising fast. But I think Brock Lesnar would have had a heavy run on SmackDown. I think Brock Lesnar would have had at least 700 days champion. I'm not kidding. Yeah, that's true. That's true. People do hate the Death Riders. I'm not arguing that. I've never argued this once against you. I agree. People do hate the Death Riders. But John Cena's championship reign is still worse. I hate Cena as a star. I hate Cena, but he is a star, and I give him credit for defending his championship with the way he has throughout his career. That is to be respected, nothing else. He needs, the minute he goes, it'll be so damn amazing. Oh, let's see. Exactly. Like, there's no shame. There's no shame in saying that Cena's heel turn has been shit. It's flopped massively. It's done nothing. There is no shame in saying this. I don't know why people are so afraid to say it. Like, look at me. Bret Hart is my favorite wrestler of all time. His run in WCW was crap. No shame. I can say it with chest. Cena's record is brilliant without doubt, but right now in this present day it's not working all. They really need to put the right person to take the belt of him. It's probably going to be Cody again. Cody's probably going to recover it and start his second reign as champion. Indy Hartwell tonight on Under Siege in the 8-person tag. I really do wonder who the team, the fourth person is going to be. I'm going to quickly bring up the Under Siege card if anyone wants to see it. Of all weird times, the pre-show starts at 12:30. It starts in an hour, the pre-show. The main event, obviously, is not for the title. We've got one match on the pre-show. Yeah, his WWE run was absolute crap. I'm not going to do predictions for Under Siege. We'll record them anyway, but we've only got 3 title matches. It's mostly tag matches on this card, by the way. But this is Under Siege. So we've got Rosemary versus Zaya Brookside on the pre-show. Then we've got Masha Slamovich versus Victoria Crawford. Or as you guys would know her to be Alicia Fox. I think that's going to be a show stealer. Eddie Edwards versus Cody Dean. If Cody wins, he gets a new contract. So Eddie Edwards, I hope he hit a low blow and just cheat to win. The Nemeths, Nick and Talentless Ryan versus Matt Hardy and Leon Slater for the World Tag Team titles. Ryan Nemeth is going to steal the pin on this. Tessa Blanchard versus Ariana Grace and Ariana Grace's TNA debut. Surely Tessa wins that. If not, I'll be very shocked. Mike Santana versus AJ Francis. Mike Santana is going to win this, I think. Ash by Elegance and Heather Elegance versus Spitfire. I think Spitfire lose and Danny Luna's going to turn heel, even though she's an incredible babyface. And then 8-person tag. Indy Hartwell, incredible. The Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Vance, and to be announced versus Order 4 in a mixed tag, 8-person tag match. And then the main event is Joe Hendry and Elijah versus Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian. Can Ariana wrestle? Not that much. Speaking of can they wrestle, Santino Marella will be wrestling for the first time in 5 years. He is wrestling Nick Nemeth on Sunday for TNA at Border Brawl. Are you reviewing all 3 wrestling events? So Under Siege, Double or Nothing, and Border Brawl, or Saturday Night's main event? If you don't think it's as bad as people are saying, then you're not watching the product. I'm sorry. Like, here's a reality. My co-host is one of the biggest people I know in terms of defending WWE. We're both big WWE fans. Ailey was insistent that John Cena's heel turn was going to work. And I said to her it was going to fail. Cena's heel turn has pissed her off. Think about that. Saturday Night's main event, I'm not even watching it, pal. I'm not watching it. I'm going to review Double or Nothing. I'm probably going to review Under Siege. And I'm probably going to review Border Brawl, because that's a strange one. But Saturday Night's main event, there's nothing really on that card that actually excites me. Like, just looking at the card, like, there's nothing there. What has happened to the tag team that Luna was with? Subculture. They're still over in the UK. I just can't believe that they've decided that the R-Truth match is going to be non-title. I think that's just stupid. There's no need. Of course I'm not. It's another 5-match card, but it's Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a steel cage. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Punk and the Liberal Democrat Sami Zayn. R-Truth versus John Cena non-title. And Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the world title. I'm sorry, but that card is crap. So you haven't watched for the past month or so, but you're saying that his heel turn hasn't flopped? Or it's whatever. Jesus. The matches aren't overhated. The matches are the exact same. They're terrible clusterfuck booking. Overly done finisher spot fest that aren't good. It's going to end the same way. Low blow, belt shot, 1, 2, 3. Probably, but a steel cage match should be a feud ender. If this doesn't end the feud, then what next? No idea. Nah, you've not missed any predictions. The Double or Nothing prediction show's tomorrow. I'm not really doing a prediction for the other shows because not really much is there. Like, they're not pay-per-views. Double or Nothing is a pay-per-view, so we'll do predictions for the pay-per-view. So that was Impact. Get your final thoughts on Impact, please, ladies and gentlemen of the community of the Weekly Steelchair and the grand jury that you are. Do, 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 do. Glenn, good to see you, buddy. This week was a B+. You know what? I gave Dynamite a B+. You know what? I agree with Collision. And with TNA's getting the same rating. B-. Maria says 8. Not bad, not bad. And none of his runs been good, though. He's actually a detriment on WWE. They have to go back to him instead of believing in their younger talent. Impact was okay, but honestly, that segment was Stone and Santino. Never again, please, TNA, for the love of God. If I see that again, I will honestly stop. I will honestly switch off. And I've never turned off an episode of TNA. Ever. But I was so close. And also, I don't get this. Why are they debating over power? Robert Stone, you're an NXT guy. You should be fighting for NXT power because Ava Raine is a crap GM. Not my words, other people's words. He should not be getting any level of control for TNA. He's not a TNA talent. Partnership. Right. Tag match. Trios tag. Singles match. Tag match. Singles match. Title match. Trios match. That's reverse order, by the way, from main event to opening match of Collision. I'll say this in the nicest way possible. There's times when I tried, James, but I just couldn't do it just because my love for TNA just outweighed my hate for those two. But there were times where I was close to turning it off. Even during the shite that was the Aces and Eights era, I still didn't turn it off. I don't know why I didn't, but I just couldn't do it. This is what I was going to say, and I'm actually very pleased with this. This formula of how they set up the show, I love this for Collision. I love this formula. I actually think they should stick with this formula. It's the right flow. It's the right wake-up match. It's the right follow-up. It's the right middle segments, middle match. And then a good way to close the show and let the crowd go home happy. Aces and Eights was an absolute... Aces and Eights was the AIDS of professional wrestling. Or Aces and Eights was... Actually, this is how I'm going to really describe it. Aces and Eights was like going on holiday to your favourite place, but then the place gets ransacked by a herd of elephants and everything gets destroyed in seconds. That's Aces and Eights. They are a herd of elephants that destroy good things. Aces and Eights, that's a good way to put it. TNA was the shit when the Lucha Bros, Brian Cage, LAX, and Sami Callihan and the Marquee. 2017, bruh. 2017. Fucking dope days, man. 2016 to 2018, despite its madness, was great. Even little bits of 2019. Even during so-called dark days, those moments still stood out really well. But yeah, Aces and Eights had one of the worst world champions, one of the worst booked factions. The only good thing about it was AJ Styles ending the damn thing. God, that was horrible. Arses and AIDS. That's a good one. I hated that. I really hated that faction. Every single bloody member. Only one of those members had something that would have been great. I actually had hoped that Wes Briscoe would have became something from this faction. They had him turn on Kurt Angle, and I figured out Wes Briscoe was a member of the Aces and Eights before anybody in the TNA forums. The reason why is because he constantly kept showing his tattoos on screen. It's not, guy, just don't. Stop, just don't. Just don't. I always thought Aces and Eights was just another pop culture trend parody like Robert Stone and Jersey Shore. Yeah, Robbie E with his little bimbo. Aces and Eights as Sons to Anarchy. Yeah, and it was horrible. TNA's only ever done... TNA's only done 6 good factions in the history of the company that goes back to June 2002. In fact, no, hold on. That's an injustice. Sorry, I've left 3 out. 9 factions. 9 factions in 23 years. Oh, sorry, you said is it better than them? It's not better than them because it actually didn't have any cohesion. They let themselves down. See how all the members of that faction, see the only person who actually stood out for me was Devon. And they went so heavy on experienced talent instead of good young talent. That's what let this faction down. massively. D'Lo Brown, fucking Nux, Luke Gallows. He did not work in this faction. He worked elsewhere, but he didn't work here. Bubba, Eric Bischoff's son, Garrett. Wes Briscoe, who should have worked, but they ruined him. His heel turn on Kurt Angle in the cage match was outstanding. Devon is probably the only member of that faction that was actually good and understood it. Taz was actually quite funny, to be fair. I liked how Taz revealed himself to be a member of the faction, but when he was on commentary for the faction, it was terrible. Mr. Anderson / Mr. Kennedy, he was okay, but he was dwindling, so it didn't really work. And I'm kind of glad they didn't have AJ join the faction, but it was good that they teased it. But he would have not worked either. Reece, has anyone had to carry a main event 1v1 more than The Undertaker did versus Giant Gonzalez? Yes, there is actually. Undertaker, funnily enough, also carried another main event, SummerSlam 1994. His match versus The Undertaker. And also, I would say Bret Hart twice carrying Kevin Nash. Stone Cold versus Vince, yup, that's true. AJ Styles carrying Roman Reigns. And he did. Carried him twice. And I actually would say the way the match went, Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff, yeah. Another carry that really stands out, Ric Flair with Lex Luger, 1989. The real star at Ace's Days was Mike Knox. Jesus, Stussy, no. But yeah, Taker's carried so many main events. That man should have been paid so much more money. I would have paid him in cars, put it that way. Okay, Collision. Before we get into Collision, ladies and gentlemen, what is your preliminary thoughts on this show? I will say, I actually really liked Collision last night. I actually think Collision on a Thursday is actually better than a Saturday. I actually much prefer it. I know that means it's competing with TNA, but I'm not really bothered because I can watch both of them anyway on my free monitors. But I actually like Collision on a Thursday. It feels right. So, let's begin. I mean, you've just told the whole chat, mate, but that's brilliant. Yeah, Mercedes got herself into... She just wanted to get herself ready for the show. She had a decent match, to be fair. She had a very decent match against Reina Isis. Yeah, Takeshita opened the show. Takeshita, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Again, these two... Get them out this faction. Right there in the... I would replace Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta with the Grizzled Young Veterans. I think they would be much better in the faction than those two. They will go up against Bandito and the Outrunners. Exactly. The momentum is so big and it actually holds well. I wish AEW was around when I was a kid. I always wanted a Saturday Night Wrestling show during my peak fandom. Yeah, because back then the best you had was WCW Saturday, and then they got rid of it for Nitro. Well, they were bringing it down for Nitro, but they replaced it with Thunder. And we all saw what happened to Thunder. It shocked out. This was just a brutal exchange match. There was nothing really simple. I mean, there was a lot of ringside interference from the Callis family. Again, this group works really well. I just don't like Trent Barrett and Rocky Romero in the group. I would prefer Grizzled Young Veterans, an established tag team that actually is more fun. Overall, good match. The Outrunners, they seem to be a decent team, but I'm just not sure they're the right audience to work with in terms of you want to get something out of them, but I'm not sure. I think they should be your Ring of Honor team, like your main Ring of Honor team. I don't think they should be an AEW team specifically, but they are enjoyed by the crowd. I can't really say anything. Bandito has one arm press slam. That man is a god with the press slam. He owes me several favors. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all. Following this, we get our first singles match of the evening. TBS title match. Mercedes Mini in action against CMLL's Reina. Isis. Reina had one objective and one objective only besides trying to win this match. Piss off the champion. And she does that with ease. Comfortably. So easy. Mugs her off. To the point that Mercedes actually snaps. Mercedes snaps, goes very heavy on the submission front, which I think says a lot. We got two attempts where Isis is in the statement maker or the crossface if you're just a wrestling fanatic. The first time she breaks out of it. The second time she taps out. She doesn't let go. She holds on for the life of her. She holds on. It's in the thumbnail. I like that shot of her after the match where she's still got a grip of her, but she's got her like eyes covered, face hidden away, whilst the Owen Hart cups in the background. I think that's incredible. Like I like that sell. I really like that. That's good camera work. It was a great match. I agree. I thought it was really well done. We get a post-match follow-up as well. Jamie Hayter comes out, reminds her about the Haterade, because obviously Mercedes Moné felt the Haterade this past week on Dynamite. This match is so 50-50. I'm eager to see how it goes. Of course, we can pretty much guess who's going to win, but I'm really looking forward to it. Mercedes is going to beat the piss out of Jamie Hayter. I'll be surprised if Mercedes Moné beats the piss out of her. She'll beat her, but I think Jamie Hayter is going to tear her to shreds. I generally think Jamie Hayter, in terms of the power, Mercedes Moné is in for a long night. TNT is currently airing your favourite movie, The Flash. The only good thing about that movie is the GOAT Batman's in it, Michael Keaton. I hate the actor who plays him, Ezra Miller. I hate him. Little bitch. I like as well after she did the Haterade taunt, she then did this, signaling that time's up for Mercedes Moné. That is so good. The Goldust flash, fucking hell. I like the fact that she signaled the fact she's going to get another Haterade. And I love that she signaled that time's up. So that's a good thing. Maybe, but also that doesn't make any sense. Mercedes kicked Camille at the curb, remember? If Camille goes back to Mercedes, then you've wasted the whole point of Mercedes getting rid of her, you know? It's an interesting way of thinking, though. Like, that's actually very interesting, but I just think it just seems strange, because last time we saw Camille, Mercedes kicked her at the curb. I'm not sure. I just hope, because of what I said on the Dynamite review last night, I just hope that Mercedes uses her influence as CEO and recruits Don Callis. The very first stretcher match in AEW history is this weekend on Dynamite. I'm just kidding. Double or Nothing. But ahead of that, Kyle Fletcher wasn't in action on Dynamite, but he was on action on Collision. Kyle Fletcher had a very good match with Jay Lethal. I'm really looking forward to this. Wait, why did they got this wrong? Ricochet's got the stretcher match, you absolute dumb fucks. Why did I think that? Kyle Fletcher's got the shitty madness in him that he's going to be in the six-man tag. Mark Briscoe obviously is here, but he didn't get enough, but this was actually interesting. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe in the stretcher match is weird, but this was actually supposed to be the match, by the way. It was supposed to be Briscoe versus Fletcher, but they chose to go with Ricochet. I like Ben Affleck. Maybe in hindsight, Keaton should have always been DCU Batman since the ideas that they wanted a grizzled old man Batman. Yeah, it should have been. How many titles has Kevin Owens turned on Sami Zayn? Only see Sami always forgive him. More than he can count. Those two are weird. Hello, Lark Bark. How are you? Seeing Mark Briscoe get a win in that stretcher match would be great. We all know it isn't happening. Nah, Ricochet's winning that. It wouldn't surprise me if there's interference. But Ricochet's winning that. I tell you, I thought it was crazy. The Dustin Rhodes Sammy Guevara segment that comes up here. I was so shocked that they included the Cody Rhodes match, which for me is the best match Cody Rhodes has ever had. That match with Dustin is the best match he's ever had, in my opinion. Harley Cameron, her ad spot, that was absolutely brilliant. Fletcher can do better if he gets there, but Fletcher beating Adam Cole for the title is not a bad thing. Adam Cole at least has rescued the title. I like that they're building it really well. I really do. We get a tag match next. Paragon versus GYV, Grizzled Young Veterans, who I think should be in the Don Callis family. This match, simply put, was match of the night. This match was fast-paced, heavy-hitting, ruthless, tag team moves back and forth, great commentary, and even better, we got more prep from Adam Cole on commentary. Wonderful. Danny Garcia sucks. Ain't that the truth? Roderick Strong, his chops were just lethal as hell. And I loved the interaction at the end of the match as well when each man got a handshake and a fist bump from Adam Cole. The veterans are better on. No, the reason why I have them at Don Callis family is because they're better than Romero and Dinglepuss. It wouldn't surprise me if this leads to Daniel Garcia versus Nigel McGuinness all in. I hope Nigel McGuinness rips him apart. But FTR versus Copeland and Cage is coming. Fist bump for you, Lark Bark. You're the guy. What's this? Oh, it's another Rob. Damn it! It was another Rob Van Dam Sabu. He's going wild on that. Have you noticed? He's going crazy for his uploads. What video is it? Sabu and Rob Van Dam versus Tayoshi Kikuchi and Yoshinari Ogawa. Fair. Danny Garcia should just get fired. To be honest, I don't see the point in this. I don't see the point in this tag match. I don't see the point in Daniel Garcia turning on him. Unless it means goodbye Stokely Hathaway. This just makes no sense. Same here. It was amazing. See you later, Guy. Thanks for tuning in. We get my guy next. My top guy, Josh Alexander. Incredible wrestler. This guy is an incredible machine. And of course he's in the thumbnail, because why wouldn't he be? The Trios title. I mean, they're dead now, in my opinion. This match, simply, AR Fox, you got brutalized. You got absolutely brutalized. And that C4 spike is the best pile driver in wrestling. I love the C4 spike. Alexander, Fletcher, and Takeshita versus the Paragon for Double or Nothing will be really good. But yeah, all round, I think there's something about Josh Alexander's C4 spike that cooks for me. I haven't been able to take Garcia seriously since he cried after losing the Ospreay. Jesus Christ, that was embarrassing. They need to do a weak link storyline or something, Don Callis family, and get Takeshita the fuck out of it. I don't think he's going to be in that faction much too long. I don't think he's going to be in it much longer. Takeshita is also fumbling AR Fox. He's too good to be a jobber. Yeah, but I also don't think AR Fox is that much of a ceiling. I agree about the jobbing part, but I don't think there's anything really there for him to do. We get a CMLL tag match next. Volador, Magnus, and Rugido taking on Mystico, Mascara, Dorada, and Templario. Simply put, this match was entertaining as fuck. This trios tag match was incredible, and even better is we got at least one man not in a mask, and that's Volador Jr. That man loves being unmasked. The only sad thing though about this is the referee was fucking boring. CMLL or Triple S, CMLL for me. I prefer them as a faction. Do we want to cash that turn face though? That's my only question. Main event, Roosh and Dralistico from LFI versus Commander and my boy Speedball Mike Bailey. Really liked this. This was a very good match back and forth. I loved interactions with all four men. This match went exactly as it should be. And I just love the way they've done it. Okada showing up as well was excellent. His appearance was good. Of course, I love it the fact that Okada just flips people off now. And then obviously the ending of the show, Bailey holding the title. I loved it. I thought it was a great conclusion to the event. Punk is a divergent point. That's how we can date AEW moments. Takeshita and Callis were a team when Punk was still there. That is true. I was actually at the show when they had their first big moment together. Lance Archer should turn babyface. Nah, he should stay heel. I don't see how he gets excommunicated from Don Callis and not get turned face though. You could do a jealousy angle. Kyle Fletcher gets jealous of him. I don't think Josh Alexander will, because Josh Alexander already knows who he is. But maybe Kyle Fletcher gets jealous, and it forces Don Callis to choose. Let's see. I just want to double check when. Is it 12:30 that it's on? I'm just checking Under Siege. The countdown show is on when? 22 minutes. Okay. To be honest, I don't really like countdown shows, so I'll probably just give it a miss. Even though there's one match on it, I'll just catch up the match at another point. Whoever Callis doesn't choose, the crowd loves that guy. Yeah, absolutely. And it'll work really well. And you can have a good match between Fletcher and Takeshita. But that's what I can see happening. I actually think that would be good television. But that was Collision as well. Decent show, fun times, good times, all the fun and games. Madness is kicking. Not a bad show. Not a bad show. Right. I said I had some updates for the weekend. So it's a bank holiday here. I know it's a bank holiday for the across the pond because it's Memorial Weekend for you guys, which is huge. Or I'm sure it's Memorial Weekend, yeah. Um, Yeah. The only thing is, though, is they cannot go back to that so quickly. They need to stay away from it. That's something I stand on. I stand on that firmly. We have tomorrow. I'm gonna do. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the double or. Actually, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I am being a fool. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just see. Double or Nothing. That is tomorrow, isn't it? No, it's not. They're not running it on Saturday. They're running it on Sunday, aren't they? No, never mind. It is tomorrow. Thank fuck I'm watching it then. But yes, so tomorrow we're gonna do the predictions for Double or Nothing. I'm gonna set up the our predictions for that already, so I can get it ready for tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm gonna review Under Siege and Double or Nothing. And then Monday, we're gonna do either I'll review Border Brawl, or we'll do that sit down show that we did last week, which was just so much fun. Prediction spreadsheet. That's it there. Rename. AEW Double or Nothing 2025. At least I've got that. That'll be there for tomorrow. It's gonna be quite the show. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an incredible show tonight. Thank you very much. I will see. Oh wow, hold on. Beloved Cheers and Space Jam actor dies. Another Cheers actor? What the fuck? Now Michael Alamo has passed away. What the fuck? That's horrible. So far, everything Dwayne has done on screen this year has been cursed. That is true. You're welcome, Zodiac. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening. Well, rest of your evening. If you're watching SmackDown, try and enjoy it. I'm going to be watching Under Siege. Absolutely lark bark. Ladies and gentlemen, peace. God bless. Good night. Arrivederci.